coming to Man Up, I've learned how to be a father, and learned how to be a family man. I've learned how to take responsibility, to own up for what I do.
Man Up's done a lot for me. I'm happily married. I never hit my wife again. The relationship I've had with my wife now is beautiful. I'm now drug and alcohol free. And out of the 6 children, I have 3 children that's come back. I'm violent free. I'm happily married.
Everything is gone for me. I'm totally a new man, and I really love Man Up. It's changing me.
I'm a lot happier with my life. I actually love myself so that I can love others, especially my family.
Clean off crime, start on a new life, coming to church, praying, slaying. That's my life now, is just help out our community.
Man up to Tangata. There's actually a brotherhood here for you. If you're struggling out there, we're here to help you.
Hey, welcome onto the set tonight to Open Up Bro. Kaiui Tuking is your name, your host for tonight. You'll be joined by a panel of experts. Our discussion tonight is youth issues. But before we get to that, I just want to say, if you were touched by our program last week around alcohol, I'll tell you what, I hope you've already connected to one of our local Man Up centres, but alcohol is not a part of our future, and we are alcohol-free dads. Anyways, back to tonight's discussion. Obviously, being the school holidays, a lot of the youth issues have arisen here in South Auckland. We had the bus stabbing of our brother up here in Manurewa. We had the police chase that resulted in one of our young men, a 15-year-old, passing on. A couple of shootings, and that's just in a space of 2 weeks. I'll tell you what, that's something that has been alarming for us as youth specialists. So tonight, we'll be diving into that topic around youth issues. What are the answers, and what do we have to do to play and giving our young men, our young youth, a voice and also a better platform of being young leaders. So tune in this AV, and you'll be back with the panel of experts.
Welcome, Movement Rec 2015, we're back. I'm Jerome.
And I'm Jamie. Today we've got 500 random acts of kindness with a whole bunch of young people.
It's going to be amazing. I want to say thank you to Z Energy, BP, Sanitarium, Joseph Rakesh Fitness, Give a Little Foundation, and of course Destiny Church. This facility is amazing.
We're about to hit the streets. Doesn't matter that it's raining outside. We've got it. We're back and we're coming for you again.
Movement Rec, that's us. Let's go.
Woo!
Proud to be! Proud to be!
One of our tasks was to find a washing machine, get a good price for it, and then give it away to someone in need, and we've done exactly that.
What we've done here is we've used our 50 bucks to pay for coffees in advance. What's up, proud to be? Movement.
People behind us, how much of it? Yeah, what about the whole line we're gonna pay for it?
Only if I'm allowed to offer that to someone else.
Yep, that's up to you what you do with it.
Yeah, okay, then I'll take
Cool.
it.
This is
It is a kind of shock, and I'm so blessed. Somebody out there is really here to our community. But I just want to thank you so much for your love and support. I didn't even expect something like this. May God bless you and in all sorts of ways. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Movement Right 2015! Proud to be! Movement Right!
Hey, welcome back on Set Tonight Whānau. Again, youth issues is the topic, and again, like I shared, got a panel of experts right here, and we're going to actually do a round of introductions, because that AV there was an amazing AV of random acts of kindness, but also aroha that a lot of our young people need today. But we're going to go to the right. You're going to introduce yourself, and who are you, and what you're all about in regards to the youth sector.
Kia ora everyone, my name is Ty Brown, and I'm a social worker out there in part of Auckland, in another community other than Manukau. So I engage with a lot of whānau that are brought to my agency with a lot of hardship and difficulties in regards to their own personal well-being.
Awesome. Put you on, brother.
Kia ora, my name is Arama Turoa. I'm from Papakura. I've been on here for a while now. This is my first time going live. I'm just looking forward for the outcome of this series.
Awesome. Lyric.
Hello everyone, Lyric Henry, proud father of twins. Yeah, just here to talk about my life and yeah, how much the brothers have from Man Up have helped me.
Awesome.
And I'm Jerome, and my wife and I have been leading the Movement Youth Trust for the past 4 years. And the Movement Youth is based here in Manukau, but we've got branches all over New Zealand and Australia. Yeah, we've been doing that for the past 4 years here in Manukau. So.
Amazing. So I believe, Jerome, with that AV, you're a pioneer of that. And with the Movement Trust, tell us a little bit about the movement and what it's all about in South Auckland.
Yeah. So we have about 150 young people here in Manukau, and we meet weekly every Friday. We come together corporately every fortnight and do sort of stuff that helps young people be young, I guess, and also find their identity, find out what they're passionate about, what drives them. And then every other fortnight we have small groups, and that's where they can get into the deep stuff and talk about all the stuff that they're faced with and challenges that they face daily.
Yeah, because tonight it's a social, we've got a social worker professional, we've got a youth development professional, but you've also got professionals on the streets itself. Young people that will speak from the streets. So I want to pose this question over to you, Ty. With regards to social construct today, you know, what are the common factors that our youth face today that have obviously, in the last couple of weeks, you know, highlighted the negatives of us as youth? What are the common factors that they face?
I think one of the things that, as a social worker that I currently face and work with is there's a huge, I suppose, this whole anti towards authority, you know, with the young people. So anything towards authority, whether it be education at school with teachers, whether it be at home with parents, or whether it be the law in regards to the police, there's just this whole disdain towards anything or anyone that carries an authority figure.
Wow.
Within the community or whether at home. So that's what we're finding now.
So just being told, no, do this, they've got a resistance towards that.
Yep.
Well, so, Arama, is that something that you've grown up in South Auckland as part of who you are? You know, like you don't respect those that might have something to say to you? Or...
Yeah, I didn't really respect those ones that didn't really look after me. I hardly respected my mother during these times due to watching her drink all the time, and the stepfather was bashing up the mother and bashing us up. So back then I wanted to be a copycat pretty much, because the boys in the hood, they weren't listening to their parents, so I chose not to listen to parents. So pretty much copycat me, be the cool guy on the block.
So from there, roll straight over to my brother Lyric. You know, you introduce yourself as, you know, your young father. How old are you? And being a young father, how old are you? And what is that situation like? You know, as a young dad.
Because I was 15 when I had my sons, and I wasn't old enough for a benefit. Wasn't old enough to apply myself as a job. So it was hard because I was thinking of like how to provide, and that's like the reason for me to do some crime too, just to make some money. Because all I was thinking about was making money for my sons, providing. But yeah, just hard. Brothers from Man Up just help me.
Yeah, because you're speaking to obviously Ty before. It was a coincidence tonight. You know, you had Ty sharing that. Is that Lyric? What's your last name?
Henry.
Lyric Henry. Is that the prolific, you know, Lyric Henry? And I was like, I wouldn't have a clue. But you know, you've got quite a reputation in the community that I won't expose the community, but cleanliness. That you know, with regards to crime. But what was it for you that you know, that put a stop to all of that? You know, and you becoming more responsible today.
I couldn't think of myself anymore because I had to think of my two little blessings. I had to think about the bigger picture. I was only thinking about then and there.
Wow.
Had to think about the consequences and what could happen to my sons or to me if I kept doing crime. Yeah.
You're 16 years of age.
16.
Well, so I know, Adam, you're freshly out of the gangs, eh? And were you a role model to many of those young ones in the gangs? And
yes, I actually was a role model. You know, due to done a lot of street fighting back in there. So like when I was growing up, when I was role model, fighting was showing that you were strong, showing that you were staunch, was basically
attracting to our young ones.
It was attracting to the young ones. You know, fighting was
wow.
Was the man. Yeah.
So what would be one of your advice to those young ones today? You know, is it still the same, or would you have a better pathway for them as young youth wanting to join the gangs?
Yeah, well, I'm telling you now, you know, it's not worth it at the end of the day. You know, if you were to join the gang, my personal advice is don't even join it, because it's going to eventually mess up your life, or you're going to miss out on, you know, you're going to miss out on, you know, your family, and then you're going to end up going into jail, or who knows, could be end up getting there within a short time of period, sort of thing, you know. But no, it's best not to even join a gang. It's not worth it. You know, going straight, doing all this stuff where you got the brothers to help you. You know, that's more of a worth of a shot, because at the end of the day, when you pass away, you know, you either got to go two places. You know, you either got to go to heaven or hell. You know. If not, don't join it, guys. You know, for my mistakes, I've mucked up heaps of times. You know, I've been, you know, I've lost a family. You know, I've been put in hospital heaps of times. You know, I've almost died due to making that wrong decision. You know, joining the gangs and all that
the
stuff.
Environments weren't as positive and as it should have been, but you've ended up in a good place now.
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess over to you, Ty. You know, specialising in the social work, what attracted you to this job?
I suppose it was my own upbringing. Same thing that what Ed's been saying and what Lyric was talking about. You grow up with these different types of hardships in your life, and as I got older, I ended up starting working in the youth ministry, and so I found that working in youth ministry, I was able to give back. And my youth pastor at the time encouraged me to go for a youth work position. So I went for that position, and I did a youth work certificate, and I ended up getting that job, which led me ultimately into going for social work and then getting a degree in social work. And now I just enjoy it because I'm working with people with the same types of backgrounds that I grew up with, and I'm able to point them in the right direction, lead them on the right pathway in regards to a better lifestyle.
Amazing. Hey, just before we wrap up this segment here, I'm going to pose this last question to you, Lyric. You know, with regards to being a young dad, you know, and I guess, where is it from here? Where are you going to from here? With regards to being a young dad, you know, where are you going to from here?
Now that I've turned 16, just go find me a job and just go the legit way. Because I can't have the excuse I'm not old enough now. So I guess now that I've turned 16, go find me a job and start providing the right way for my sons.
Awesome. Well, you've heard it there, whānau, you know, you've got a young 16-year-old here, you've got a brother here that's been in the youth gangs, experienced in the youth gangs, but these men here are not only talking about the problems, but they're also now in a position of answers, and they're now walking and paving out a way for you to look to as role models. So I'll tell you what, whānau, you know, we'll be tuning into our next segment very soon, and you'll be hearing more from these two here, but I just want to say, if there are young people out there right now that need a help, do drop into our 0800 1 Man Up number. You'll see the number there. It's 0800 1 Man Up. Give us a call tonight. We'll be on the phones till 9 p.m. But we're all about wanting to reach out to you, because you would have heard from the brother here, Arama. He needed someone to look to. And I'll tell you what, you've got the men right here. So whānau, tune into this AV and we'll hear from you very soon.
My name is Natiti Sami. I was a irresponsible young man. I was unreliable, and these led to me being homeless. And I either just slept at the bus stop, the train station, tried to find, you know, a girl at the pub to go home with for the night. And yeah, it was I just took it day by day. You know, I would sleep at the back of warehouses, at the back of factories, and yeah, an alcoholic, I could say, a party boy. You know, at the pubs all the time, or you know, I had an addictive nature. I was addicted to cigarettes. I was addicted to alcohol. I was a gambler. Spent when I did have money, all my money at the pokies or at the casino, thinking that I was gonna crack it big. I didn't really know of a way I was gonna get out of my rut or the hole that I dug myself in. I didn't really look for help anywhere. I sort of thought, you know, I'd be able to get myself out, and I didn't really, I guess, being prideful. As a teenager, I went through counseling sessions. I did play up a bit as a teenager, and I had potential as a student to become someone great, but so they put counselors around me and mentors that they thought would help, but I guess they never did help, because I'd end up doing the same things, and that escalate into bigger things as I grew older. When I was 16, I went to a place called Tawaireka in Hawke's Bay, and it was a youth voluntary rehab facility, and I graduated from that place, but two months after I got out, I was back to smoking weed, I was back to smoking cigarettes, and I guess doing exactly the same things that I was doing to lead me into there. And you know, I honestly thought I'd come out and be a new person, but nah, I relapsed and ended up being a worse off than I was when I went in there. I am chosen to, break some cycles in my family bloodline, and my generational bloodline. You know, the being fatherless, like that's one that I feel like I'm chosen to break. You know, and because of the other tools and the other keys that I've been learning at Man Up, my daughter is now back in my life. My daughter is moving here in January, and I'm going to be marrying her mum before my next birthday. So, that's what Man Up's done for me. And also, being fatherless, I didn't really have a guidance or I guess a male role model to go off, but now I have a whole brotherhood of men that I look up to, and I see as role models and mentors and counselors, and I can open up to. And I guess I've sort of, replaced that hole in my heart, and filled it with this love that I get from these men. And it's not gay love, it's real man love, and I haven't found it, or I haven't seen it anywhere else.
Hey, welcome back to Open Up Bro tonight. Hey, again, you would have seen an amazing AV there, and that man is actually on set tonight. So we're going to cut straight into the introductions of this young man. So, T, introduce yourself and what you all about, my brother. That was just your AV we just seen.
Yeah.
Sup team, hey guys. My name is Naititi Sami. You can call me T. Everyone calls me T. What I'm all about is just change now. You know, I'm making a change in myself, but also making a change in others. And my heart is for young men and men in general, because we are the future, the leaders.
Awesome. So we're going to cut over to our brother here. So Zachary, your way.
Cheer my bros, my name's Zachariah. I'm from Utah, 19 years old, and I'm about that change. Yeah.
Amazing. Again, Whānau, we are here tonight talking specifically about youth issues. It's been one of those fortnights, whereby the youth issues have arisen in our community. So we're going to cut straight to Jerome. Jerome, you've got a significant event coming up next week. So you want to share and elaborate about that, because I believe there's a stand you're going to be taking next week. So give us a little insight to what that's all about.
Yeah, so next week we've got our annual conference, and there's a couple of key events that we do. One being Movement Rack, which you would have seen the highlights of earlier, and that's about going out in the community and bringing life to the community, but also about helping young people take their eyes off themselves, because they're quite tend to look at themselves and their own problems, but you can see that you can change lives by one simple act that changes their lives as well. And then and a bigger piece is this absolute abstinence, where we take our young people through a 4-week program to help them understand, first and foremost, and most importantly, who they are and their identity, because they're lacking in that space. And then we go through drugs and alcohol and understand the challenges that they face there, but also the impact of drugs and alcohol. And then we talk about sex and the impacts of creating soul ties and creating these bonds with people that you're sleeping around with. And then we go through and basically make a stand to say we're never going to touch drugs and alcohol for life, and we're not going to have sex until the day that we marry.
Wow.
So it's a pretty amazing event for these ones that are involved in it.
So Zach, you're hearing this story and you're like, wow, that's a bit of a miracle, a bit of a jump. What was that for you? Just hearing that, was that a possibility in where you come from in the streets there, or?
Just to help out get my experience out there. Help out other bros,
Was that something that you grew up in and seeing, young men say no sex before marriage, no drugs and alcohol?
Nah, you see that much, just starting to hear this stuff now.
Which we can say, it's probably the answers of today, Bit radical, but I guess, where we come from as young men, we make radical decisions and choices every day. You coming from a fatherlessness, so tell us a little bit about that, because I know you're a young father today too, so how has you being, fatherless impacted you as a young man?
It really did affect me. I did have a stepfather, but not knowing who my biological father was, it always left that void, it left that emptiness, and I guess those unanswered questions, And I grew up wondering, and not knowing, and not knowing who I was, and didn't have, my father telling me, I guess, how to be a man, or teaching me or showing me, because he wasn't in the picture.
Is this a common factor for you too, Ty, in regards to young men, coming through your agency, not having fathers or maybe runaway fathers?
Huge. I'd say majority of the young men that I work with, solo mums. Yep. So it's just mum at home, really. There are absent fathers, no fathers. And that was I'd say in my own upbringing, I had a father that was at home, but yet he wasn't, because he didn't play his role as a father. He was always gone, or he never, just the simple thing of saying, I love you, son, that never happened. So I'm saying that you might have a father at home, but he is absent.
Wow.
He wasn't really playing his fatherly role.
So it comes to you, Zachary, you've got some news to share with us. Is that right? You want to share to the audience?
I just found out I'm gonna be a father. Solid.
So with what we just asked Ty around, runaway dads, that's not you, eh?
No way.
So share us, why not?
Because all the people I'm hanging around with now, man up, boys to men, helping me out, making me see differently, seeing life differently, different visions.
Yeah. Here is a sticky topic. This question just come through our audience, and the question's around why is youth suicide highly represented in the youth sector. You know, we might start with you, Time. We'll come across the panel. Why is youth suicide highly represented here in New Zealand, but it's actually the top in the world? So we'll go over to you there, Ty.
I mean, just the numbers alone, we're seeing huge numbers within New Zealand itself, even in the community that I work in. For myself personally, I just feel that, you know, these young people out there that feel that there is no answer, or there is no one that they can talk to, because if you ask, well, you can't really ask a suicider. You don't even know. Not even those that are closest to them. They wouldn't even share those kind of things. And I'd just take that from myself personally. I try to take my own life and I just kept it to myself, and I thought I'd just take the easy way out and go out alone. So I tried OD, and you know, that's where it just kind of left me, where, you know, they won't tell you. You know, they won't tell anyone. So, but unfortunately, you know, I'm just grateful that I did come out the other side. I did survive. So, yeah, I guess that's, they feel that there's no answer out there in the community.
Wow, amazing. Machuti?
In terms of why, personally, I don't know why we have the biggest stats. I do believe that we have a lot of pressures as youth, as young people in New Zealand. There is a culture of, you know, you got to be cool, you got to be the man. And but for me, I've never been around people until I came to Man Up and Destiny Church. But I've never been around people that will open up. You know, will talk about issues. You know, it's always surface level talk about. You know, so me and my bros would be talking about girls, sport. You know, what are we up to in the weekend? And that is the general conversation that youth have these days. And social media plays a big part of it. I believe, and the trend is just get out there to get likes, and that makes you cool.
So a lot of the identity is framed up on social media, you're saying, hey? So if I don't comment or like on your picture that you just put up with a selfie, that goes to say that they didn't like me, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's the world we're in today. So over to you, Zacharias. Why?
Can't really see.
What is your story or impacts around suicide?
I just seen one of my cousins had passed away from suicide. I just don't know why they do it. Can't really see much about it. But I just hear and see stuff. That's about it.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. About you, Jerome?
For me, it comes down to them not understanding who they are and not understanding how unique and how amazing they were created. And when they don't understand their identity, they're constantly seeking affirmation from external sources. So they do the Facebook thing and they look at their Facebook photos and see how many likes they got to justify who they are. Or they go to the gangs to get their identity, or they go to the streets and allow society to tell them who they are. And then they have this internal battle of, this isn't actually who I was created to be. And then there's this struggle going on. And my thing is that I'm passionate about is getting this identity piece sorted in our young people so that they can walk confidently in how they were created.
Yeah.
Because that causes a whole lot of dramas. They turn to alcohol, they turn to drugs because, again, they don't know who they are.
I think another big part in it is the inability, or the lack of teaching to open up. For me personally, my parents never opened up. They never spoke to me on levels where I believe we need to go deep to get into those issues that we go through through our minds as youth or even as adults. Like the ability to speak is a big part of it, and no one really speaks these days. It speaks their mind or speaks their heart.
What's amazing tonight too is, audience, you've got young men here, that are actually providing answers. You've got a panel of experts that are, giving insight into maybe a youth world. But I'll tell you what, the issue never stops, until we can, I guess, look in the mirror ourselves and say, no, we're no longer the issue, but we are the solution. Then we're on a pathway of actually being an influence to maybe the community that's around us. And I would say, being on the Open Up Bro panel tonight, it's quite disgusting what's taking place here in South Auckland. What happens with a youth is usually a result of the home. And what's the result of the home is a result of a father. So I'll just say, being Man Up, being on the panel, so privileged with these men here. It's just us, I guess, as men, giving ourselves, I guess, slack that, hey, we may have slipped up, but there's always a second chance. And I guess here on the panel tonight, you know, we're trying to give you an insight. As youth, I'm a youth myself. I'm a youth at heart. But we need role models. We need men to man up. We need fathers to take responsibility.
Yes.
But as a young father, as an up-and-coming father, as a 15-year-old father, the list goes on. When does it ever start to talk about the good roses in our society? So I'll tell you what, tonight is, I guess, the beginning of answers that you can reach out to. You've got Jerome here from the Movement Youth. You've got the brother here from Man Up. And there's many more answers that you can reach out to in our program tonight. 0800 1 Man Up. Ring us. Reach out. We're here for you. You've got programs right around South Auckland that are here to help you. So whānau, youth is something that's close to our hearts. And I'll tell you, because youth are the mouthpieces of the future. But if we don't start to sort our stuff out now, those mouthpieces become mouthpieces of the gangs. Mouthpieces that are wrapped around a pea pipe. So I won't go there, but that's tonight's show. Whānau, I hope you can reach out and I hope you can touch another brother, another young man, another young woman and refer them to the Movement Youth program on a Friday night. Move XV next week, is that right? You want to give a little bit of plug about that?
Yeah, cool. So check out movexv.co.nz for all the details, but it is our annual conference. We've got a huge weekend planned. If you are new, you haven't been before, then hit up our Facebook page, the Movement Youth. We'll get you connected.
So whānau, I'm trying to wrap it up, but I'll wrap it up even more. Whānau, Man Up, New Zealand page, tune in. We are here every Wednesday nights on Open Up Bro, but Boys to Men is a program that also runs on a Friday night. Reach out. What is Boys to Men? What is Legacy Diamonds? Many more answers in the communities for you. So whānau, that is us for tonight. We'll leave that for tonight. On 3, can we say 2 tangata? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 2 tangata. Wow. Thank you, whānau. That's us. Enjoy the rest of your night. Bless you.
In some point in our life, I do believe that we come across something that might have damaged us. And here is a place where you can come, really talk about it, dig deep, find out what's the root problem of it, and face those things with the support and help of sisterhood.
Legacy is a place where it's supportive, it's got a great atmosphere, where we are uplifting ladies all the time to come in and really be empowered and impacted to change.
Legacy is for women from all sorts of backgrounds, whether it be a horrible one from childhood, whether it be an awesome one.
To become better mothers, better sisters, better aunties and just better women for their children and all those around them.
It is a program, it is 15 weeks, but you're going to come out on the other side bigger, better and brighter. So if you know of any woman that could benefit from legacy groups, make sure you give us a call on the 800 number or message us via Facebook. We'd love to have you along. Legacy is for you.